from Group 1. Our title, Ecoliteracy, Building Knowledge for Sustainable Communities. So what are we going to cover today is, first is the definition of ecoliteracy, key principles and components, importance in society and education, practical applications, challenges and issues, and last but not the least is the strategies for development. So our objective in this lesson, in this presentation, is by the end of the lesson, students should be able to define and explain what is ecoliteracy, appreciate the importance of integrating ecoliteracy in education, and be aware to the challenges and issues of ecoliteracy. So let's move on to our topic. What is ecoliteracy? This is the ability to understand the natural system that sustain life on Earth. It grasps the principle of ecosystem organization and apply these principles to build sustainable human communities. This is all about understanding how nature works and applying that knowledge to create sustainable communities. This involves recognizing how everything is connected to the nature and using that awareness to make better decisions. It includes your understanding on ecosystem principles by recognizing the interconnectedness. Then apply that system thinking to sustainability for you to build harmonious human communities. Next is let's move to the key principles of inter or key principles or component. First is the interdependence, where all living and non-living elements on Earth are connected to each other. It is the disruption create ripple effect across systems. So this is where everything is connected. Think about it like a web, where it is like a domino effect. So when one species goes extinct, it can entirely impact ecosystem. Like bees and pollination that are connected to each other, if there are no bees, there is no food. So everything is connected to each other. Next is systems thinking. This is where you view the world as an integrated whole to analyze relationships and long-term impact of environmental issues. This where you zoom it out to see the of bigger picture of the environment. It is about connecting the dots where you can think about how does deforestation affect climate change? How does pollution impact human health? Just think about it. That is everything you think about nature is connected to each other. They are all linked. Next is the understanding nature's life sustaining process. This is all about the understanding how ecosystem work, like the knowledge of energy flow, nutrient cycling, food webs, and biodiversity. Or think about a tree that is absorbing the carbon dioxide, or how the nutrients cycle to support plant growth. Next is the key principles. Next part of the key principles, the fourth one is empathy to all living things. This is where you value and respect humans, animals, plants, and ecosystems to foster stewardship. You value and respect all living things, regardless of their human, animal, plant, and others. But then you put yourself in their shoes or on their paw, where you value biodiversity and recognize their inherent worth in all living things. Next is the awareness of consequence. where you think ahead and anticipate the impacts. Think before you act and how will this impact the environment. You anticipate the direct and indirect impact of human actions to the environment. Next is the community and collective actions, where you address environmental challenges through cooperation and community engagement. This is where the teamwork makes the dream work. So this we are stronger together if we work together with community engagement, cooperation, and teamwork. We can tackle big environmental challenges. Next is the ecological knowledge, where it is the foundational understanding of ecosystems, food chains, and environmental cycles. This is the foundation that you should know how the ecosystem works. You understand the ecosystem and environmental cycles, and also the food chains that help us make our informed decisions. So let's move on to the importance and or relevance of equaliteracy in education. First is the academic improvement. So this is where equaliteracy boosts critical thinking and problem-solving skills based on the hands-on learning that makes the concept stick together. So it enhances understanding of the complex systems and relationship for students to develop critical thinking, problem solving, and analytical skills. It encourages hands-on project-based learning. If this is integrated in school, for example, in multiple subjects like science, math, social studies, language art, and other subjects where you can connect the nature, the environment in students' learning. Next is the fostering empathy. This is where you done through understanding the interconnectedness of the environment, where students will develop compassion for all living things, uh, where they are going to value the planet and its inhabitants. They cultivate appreciation for biodiversity and ecosystems, where it encourages the stewardship and responsibility toward the environment as they develop emotional intelligence and compassion for all living things. Next, next is the future readiness. This is where education equips students to tackle environmental challenges, to make sustainable choice, and thrive in changing world. This prepares students for green careers and sustainable industries. It equips students to make informed decisions about environmental issues. It fosters adaptability, resilience, and innovation in the world changing. By integrating ecoliteracy in education, we can prepare students for a future where environmental awareness is the key. Some we can also it can also in education it can also benefit students to improve their academic performance and increase their environmental awareness and action, enhance enhance I mean better preparedness for a sustainable future. Next is to the daily life, importance in daily life. First is the informed decision making. This is where where everyone should know the impact of environmental impact of the choices we decide that helps on sustainable options, like we can choose public transport, or like choosing public transport or reducing plastic use. For in choosing products with minimal packaging or eco-friendly materials, and in understanding the environmental impact of food choice, we can think about the meat versus plant or based on our diets. Next, and another is we can make informed choices about transportation. We can choose on carpooling, biking, or using public transport that can help the environment, that can also help the environment. Next is the sustainable lifestyles, where ecoliteracy encourages habits like reducing waste, conserving energy, and eating locally sourced food. Reducing energy consumption at home, we can do that by, for example, when using LED bulbs, we can use that, but if we are not using it, we should turn it off. We turn off the lights. And in conserving water, if we can take shower shorter, not very long, and also we can, if there are the faucet is leaking, we can fix that faucet so it will not consume too much water through leaking. And we can also adapt to circular economy practice like repairing, repurposing, and recycling. Next is the health and well-being. This is where we are connecting with nature to boost our mental health and sustainable choices. Often leads to a healthier lifestyles. In spending time in nature, we can benefit for our mental health. So in spending our time with nature, it helps benefits our mental health. We can also choose organic or locally sourced food for our health, for our for better health. And we can also reduce the exposure of pollutants and toxins. Like nowadays, there are many pollutions in the air because of the use of public transportations like tricycle, van, bus, motors like that, that can worsen also the impact of the air pollution. Next, next is the active citizenship. This is where ecoliteracy empowers everyone to participate in environmental initiatives, advocate for policy changes, and also to make the community more sustainable. We participate in community cleanup initiatives or environmental groups and advocate for environmental policies or supporting eco friendly businesses. So we can use this to educate others about environmental issues and promote sustainabilities. Next is let's go to the importance of ecoliteracy as an educator. So first is critical thinking and problem solving skills and problem solving skills. So this is where educators will teach students to analyze and address environmental challenges, cultivate essential critical thinking and problem solving abilities. For example, in using literacy to, we can use eco-literacy to tackle issues like waste management, water conservation, or sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture for students to make their own moves in being a part on solving real-world environmental problems. So in that they can help in managing their waste and other things that might be helpful. So next is the interdisciplinary approach. This is done by incorporating environmental education across various disciplines. Students will gain a comprehensive understanding of ecological issues and use the real environmental issues use real world environmental issues to teach ecology, biology, and environmental science concepts. For example, you can use, students can connect with local ecosystems and community environmental projects. Then you can have your students design sustainable solutions to local environmental issues. Next is mm, the experiential learning. This is you field experience and environmental projects enhance the learning process to make it more engaging and applicable. You use your own experience as an educator, make an example out of your experiences for the students to follow and to help them. Also, next is the community involvement and collaboration. So this is where you engage students in community-based environmental initiatives for them to foster a sense of responsibility and teamwork. Dito naman is you, as an educator, you can collaborate with with the with the community for you to, and also not only you as an educator, you can also use your students, make your students engage in involved community activities that might foster a sense of responsibility and teamwork regardless in their regarding in sustainability of the environment. Let's move forward to the ways to develop ecoliteracy in school.
Okay, let's move on about the ways to develop ecoliteracy in school. Number one is develop empathy to all forms of life. By recognizing the common needs we share with all organisms, we can extend our empathy to consider the quality of life of other forms, feel genuine concern about their well-being, and act on that concern. Number two is embrace sustainability as a community practice by learning the wondrous, wondrous ways that plants, animals, and other living things are independent. Students are inspired to consider that the role in interconnectedness within their communities and see the value in strengthening those relationships by thinking and acting cooperatively. Number three, make the invisible visible. If we strive to develop ways of living that are more life affirming, we must find ways to make visible things that seem invisible by using web based tools such as Google Earth, Good Guide, and Photokate app.
Food kit apps.
Number four, anticipate unintended consequence. Teacher can teach students strategies for anticipating unintended consequences. These include precautionary principle that when an activity threatens to have a damaging impact on the environment or human health, precautionary action shall be taken. Another strategy is to shift from analyzing a problem by reducing it to its isolated components to adapting system thinking perspective that examines connections and relationship among various components of the problem. Number five, understand how nature sustains life. People recognize that nature has sustained life for eons, As a result, they can turn the nature as their teacher and learn several crucial tan. Overall, Overall, these five practices offers guides paths to exciting, meaningful, and deeply relevant education that builds on social and emotional learning skills. That they can also plant the seed for a positive relationship with the natural world that can sustain a young person's interest and involvement for a lifetime. Okay, next is the practical application. Practical applications. Number one, sustainable agriculture and agroecology. Farmers and urban gardeners apply ecological literacy, utilizing natural pest control, nutrient cycling, and biodiversity to reduce reliance to synthetic fertilizer and pesticides. Number two, urban planning and sponge cities. The urban planners apply eco-literacy to create city infrastructure that mimics natural drainage, reducing flood risk and manage water responsibly. Number three, restoration ecology and ecosystem management involves repairing ecosystems that have been damaged by human activities. Number four, community stewardship and education that encompasses in understanding nature's system and human environment relationships to foster personal stewardship and local action for sustainability. Next is the challenges and issues. First is integration in education, often treated as an extra rather than a core subject, with insufficient interdisciplinary teaching. Second one is lack of teaching training and resources. Educators may lack sustainability training or localized materials. We can still manage to come up with some strategies. Number four, socioeconomic barriers. Communities prioritize immediate needs over environmental education. Poverty limits access to program because of low resources. Number four, weak policy support. Inconsistent implementation of environmental education policies and insufficient funding. Number five, disconnection from nature. This would more on the localities or urbanized region that reduce exposure to ecosystems, lowering awareness and empathy towards it, towards the environment. Last, information overload and misinformation that cause conflicting message and misunderstood scientific concept hinder the process. Okay, we move on to the strategies for development. Practical conservation activities, the three R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Like, for example, in our childhood or elementary, we use the eco bricks, to tree planting activities. For today's event, we do that cleanup drive. Next is technology integrated learning. Through the help of technology, we can spread awareness.
So, under technology integrated learning, we can use the internet we have nowadays because of the increasement of technology. We can use that to increase awareness of all human beings for them to be aware of the more impact, big impact that worsens the damaging, the disastrous activities, the disastrous effects of the active human activities that is damaging our planet.
Okay. Number three, field trips to environmental related place, or we call the tree planting. Uh, last month, the MPSU conducted a tree planting at Aligkung or Mainit. They conducted tree planting to help the environment and to engage the students towards the environment. Number four, ecological knowledge, critical thinking, environmental awareness, practical application, and active participation. Like what I said, like in the field trips, they conduct the environmental awareness and practical application. The example tree planting.
So with the use of our ecological knowledge, we can use that to foster our active participations and apply what we have learned in our community that is more that might be helpful to the community and to improve the sustainability of our ecosystems in our especially in our locality. So at the project-based learning, under this, we can use the task that we, for example, if yung sa importance ng ecoliteracy under education as an educator. I mean, wait, I think that is under education. This is the project-based learning where we can use that what we where we can use that under the project-based learning. This the integration of our knowledge in and what we are learning in education in typically in multiple subjects, especially under science. Under science, we can learn the impact of or the impact and many issues, environmental issues that give impacts to to the environment. So with the project-based learning that we are that we are managing to think or we can use our critical thinking. For example, yung mga solutions na ginagawa natin. For example, yung to lessen the man-made activity that is the waste management. We can also use the project based on learning on the waste management. So students can not only students but everyone can also use the waste management where we can recycle, reuse, reduce, and but just we can use the 4 hours. I mean 5 hours. That is connected to the waste management to lessen its impact to the environment and to maintain the clean and green environment. So, in conclusion, ecoliteracy is all about understanding how nature works, and we are using that knowledge to build a better community and more sustainable world. Not only community, but also our planet. This is also encouraged. This is also globalized because not only in Philippines, not only in Philippines, there are even in countries that are facing environmental issues. So, in integrating the ecoliteracy, not just as a subject, but also it is the key that helps us make smart choices or informed decisions in school, at home, and in our communities. So even there are challenges like limited teaching resources or people being disconnected from nature, we can also do our best, our part, by learning that about environmental issues, that issues and impact of the human activities. So we can use that knowledge to change our daily habits and work together to protect our planet for future generations. So this is the references we use in our PowerPoint presentations. So this is the end of our presentations. Once and for all, thank you for listening to our PowerPoint. This is Hanali Bagangan,
This is Pete Ong Hazel.
and thank you for listening. Have a nice day.